All right, so let's discuss some other things. Yesterday we started our lecture by discussing the structure of the sun, and I told you that sun is the head of the solar system, which represents 99.99% total mass of this system. All the planets revolve around the sun, and uh, when you see or look at the sky, towards the sky, you will see millions of stars. But sometimes you realize that there are some stars which show a certain pattern. So stars, those are showing some sort of pattern. You can take the example to understand them. For instance, there is Ursa Major. Ursa Major. We also call it Saptarishi. So this is the combination of 7 stars. And why? By the way, this is not the only one. There are so many patterns like this. It is one of the very famous one, and we have seen many more number of times. That's why I'm discussing. So what I want to tell here that when we look at towards the sky, we see some of the stars which represent a certain pattern, and we have given them different names to those different patterns, and Ursa Major is one of them. What is the use of this Ursa Major, this Saptarishi? It is always visible in the north direction, and when let's assume this is the north direction. Okay, the board is in the north direction, so there will be the 4 stars like this, by the way. Okay, these are the, in fact, these are the 5 stars. I know this is not the correct figure of the star, but I am just mentioning it. Okay, and 2 stars will be like this. Okay, so and you are standing here. Okay, your name is Dr. Dinesh is standing here, looking towards in this direction. Okay, so as I have told you that this is always visible in north direction. What happens that if you are drawing a line which is connecting to these 2 stars, and you keep on increasing the line or drawing the line in the straight manner, what will happen that this line will attach one more star, that is called the what? Dhruv. Yes, Dhruv Tara or the pole star. And the direction of this pole star never changes. Nobody can change its direction. There is also a story behind it when the king Uttanapada, who had 2 queens, the one queen was poor and the other one was very rich. Both the queens have one sons. The queen who was rich, her son was sitting on the lap of the Uttanapada on a certain day, and in the same time, the other one boy who was the son of the poor queen of the king, he comes and he asks to his father Uttanapada that I also want to sit on your lap. And suddenly the mother of that richer boy comes and tells to the king that no, you should not allow this boy to sit on your lap. I'm cutting the long story short. The boy goes to his mother and tells that, mother, you had told me that God is very graceful and all those things. So ultimately decided to meet to the God and goes to the forest and starts doing yoga and meditation. And ultimately he meets to the God, and God says that I will give you that position in your life from where you can never be removed. Leave the lap aside. This position in your life can never be removed by anybody. You are removed from your father's lap, but the kind of position I am giving, okay, and why it is fixed, why it does not change? Because if you, okay, means if there is any ball, okay, if there is any ball and you are rotating the ball, on the top of the ball, no matter how much you are rotating the ball, the top position of the ball, or you can say the north pole, you can take the north pole never changes its position. If anything is located on the equator, that will certainly change. So this is the situation, that no matter how fast the earth is rotating, this pole star will remain in its original position. No matter from where you are showing, in which country you are going, you will see the pole star always in one particular position. And if you are recognizing the pole star, you can very easily understand the rest of the directions. And I don't want to explain the significance of the direction here, because until the compass was discovered by China during 11th and 12th century. Before the 11th and 12th century, it was very difficult to decide the direction, and that time this pole star was being used by merchants, was being used by every human being in the world. But now we have everything. We are living in the most technological developed era. So that's a different time, but there was a time when we were using this pole star in order to understand the direction. So this was Arsa Major. Sun is the head of the solar system. And how many planets are there?
8.
There are 8 planets. Till 2006, there used to be 9 planets. Pluto, when the meeting happened in 2006, International Union of Astronomy, that time it was decided that Pluto cannot be accepted as a planet, and they declared Pluto as a dwarf planet. Why they declared Pluto as a dwarf planet, I will tell you, but before that, Sun is in the center, okay, and rest of the planets, the remaining 8 planets, they rotate around the Sun in an elongated path. So the very first one is, there is a very simple formula which you can get in your 6th standard geography NCERT, that is my very efficient, okay, my very efficient mother just served us nuts. So this M stands for Mercury, V stands for Venus, E for Earth, M for Mars, Jupiter, the biggest one, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Pluto is no more here. These two planets, which are the two planets here which rotate just opposite to the direction of the Earth rotation. Earth rotates from west to east, and other than these two specific planets, rest of the planets rotate in the direction Earth rotates, means west to east. Which are those two planets which rotate just opposite? It means east to west.
Uranus.
Yes, Uranus, you are right. This one.
Venus.
And Venus. So from here the second one, and from here the second one. These are the two planets which rotate. The rotation of the planet decides whatever time is taken in order to complete one revolution by the planet, that is called 1 year. In context to the Earth requires 365 days, if you don't go into the technicality for a moment. And that 365 days is known as 1 year. As you go, in this direction, I mean, the more far away you go from the sun, the time taken by the planet in order to complete one revolution will keep on increasing. Having this thought on the backdrop, the maximum time will be taken by the Neptune and the minimum by this one, Mercury. Mercury requires how many days in order to complete one revolution of the sun?
88.
88 days. And this Neptune, it takes 164 years, not days, year. So you can understand how far the Neptune is. There is one planet which is known as the sister of the Earth. Venus. And as I have told you, the more close you are to the sun, the more temperature you will experience.
Venus.
So why? So having this logic on the backdrop, this planet, since it is closest to the sun, it should be experiencing the maximum temperature, but it is not right. It is not right. The maximum temperature goes, I mean, in comparison to these, even all the one, not only in comparison to these two one, because as you go far away, the temperature will keep on decreasing. So Venus is the planet which experiences more temperature, which is completely against our logic, where we apply our common sense that, this is closest to the sun. Why it happens, I will tell you. So this is one of the characteristics of the Venus. All right. So, by the way, I'm not going to discuss the detail of all these planets. One more thing I would like to tell here, and that is, look, this is the sequence which is very easy to remember. But once UPSC asked a question in NDA exam that array the planets according to their size from smaller to the larger one, then what will be the size? So actually, look, what I know, that I have remembered a phone number which is only 8 digits. I don't think anyone has this kind of 8-digit number, and that is what is the number? That is 1 4 2 3 8 7 6 5. This is the number. So this one, it is the Mercury, it is the smallest one. After that, the fourth goes to the Mars, and the second is the Venus, and after that, in the increasing order, the third position goes to the Earth. Then the eighth one, I mean, you have to just opposite. So Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, and the largest one, the biggest one is the Jupiter. So 1 4 2 3. I know it is a little difficult to remember, but if you want to save your time, because every time you have to calculate, but once you are sitting in the exam hall, you don't get that much time to think. Even the fraction of second decides whether you will win the race or lose. In the horse racing, the horse which comes second, what is the difference in terms of time? Less than the second. All right, so yes, I was discussing why Pluto has not been accepted as a planet. But before that, one more thing let me discuss here, and this is the asteroid belt. Asteroid belt is present where? Between the Mars and Jupiter. So this is Mars and this is Jupiter. Okay, in this one, this asteroid belt is present. My question is, you have heard the word called asteroid. You have also heard the word called meteoroids, meteor and meteorite. What is the difference among all these? Okay, the one is meteoroids. Okay, meteoroids. The second is meteor, and the third one is meteorite, and asteroid is also there. How these four terms are different from each other, and how they are related to this belt that is called asteroid belt. Actually, look, the asteroid, those are little smaller in size. The asteroids, those are little smaller in size, are called the meteoroids. But sometimes a situation comes when the meteorites, they start coming towards the earth. And as we know, earth has its atmosphere, which I have discussed, the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. So this meteorite which was presenting here, but due to some circumstances, when it gets detached from this particular space and starts running towards the earth, it's like competing for the UPSC. Hundreds of the students are participating, but only few of them get success. My teacher once told that everybody starts their journey from the same place, but everybody reach on the same place, it is not necessary. That's why Modi ji became Prime Minister. There were so many people who used to in much higher position when he was the Chief Minister and before that. So everyone starts the race from the same place, but it is not necessary they will reach or they will finish the race at the same place. Some of the meteoroids, they try to enter, or you can say when they are coming towards the earth, they struggle a lot to cross the atmosphere of the earth. They do their level best to cross the atmosphere of the earth, but as we know, as these meteoroids, as they enter into the earth atmosphere, due to the friction, they starts burning. But some of them, they get success. Despite of burning, the size is in such a manner that despite of the burning, despite of the huge amount of the friction, they survive that friction and ultimately they reach on the earth's surface. And when they attack a certain portion of the earth's surface, we get the places like Lonar Lake located in Maharashtra. And other things, because they are so huge in size that they can devastate the whole village sometimes. So my concern is here that some of the meteoroids which are burnt in between, they are called the meteor. They don't get success, they don't succeed to reach on the earth's surface. In UPSC preparation, all the students don't reach at the stage of the interview. And even they are reaching in the interview, they also get rejected from that place. And you have to start from the scratch again. So, which don't get success, which get crushed or burnt due to the friction generated by the earth's surface. And when they burnt, they generate a flame. So, which are burning, okay, which generate the flame. Sometimes we say that, oh, if you are asking anything while looking that flame, your wish or your will be fulfilled. This is a belief system in Indian culture. So, they don't get succeed, okay, they don't get success in order to reach on the earth's surface. They surrender in between. But some of them get success and finally reach on the earth's surface and collide from the earth's surface and can generate a big hollow space. And these kinds of structure like Lonar Lake in Maharashtra. So those meteorites which are reaching on the earth's surface, which are getting success in order to reach on the earth's surface, we call them meteorite. And which burnt in between in the attempt of reaching to the earth's surface, which generate a light or flame, these are called meteor. I hope it is clear. So this is the difference between the meteoroid and meteoroids. Meteoroids are the smaller version of the asteroids, and they all are present in between the Mars and Jupiter. The last thing of my today's lecture is why Pluto has not been accepted as a planet. International Astronomical Union has given three conditions in order to decide anything as a planet. The first condition is that the planet should be spherical in nature. Planet should be spherical. What do you think? Pluto fulfills this condition or not? Okay. Pluto fulfills this condition. Pluto fulfills this condition.
एक्सेस को काटता है.
So the first condition is fulfilled by the Pluto because it is spherical in nature. The second condition is to determine anything as a planet by the International Astronomical Union. This matter was discussed in the year 2006. India is also the part of this International Astronomical Union. Its headquarters is in Paris, if I am not wrong.
Prague.
Where?
Prague.
So first condition is fulfilled. The second condition is that the body must revolve around the sun. Must revolve around the sun. Pluto was also fulfilling the second condition. Pluto was revolving around the sun. And Pluto was spherical in nature. But Pluto was not fulfilling the third condition. And what was that third condition?
नहीं एक्सेस को काटता.
The third condition was that the planet or any body, any celestial body can be accepted as a planet if all these three conditions are fulfilled, and these rest 8 planets are fulfilling all the three conditions. They are spherical in nature, they are revolving around the sun, and the third condition is that the body must remove everything which is coming on its track. You are what happens when there is a 5,000 meter race? Okay, so there are the circles like this, the tracks are there or not? The same kind of tracks are also there when the planets are revolving around the sun. The third condition is that if this is your track, so it is your responsibility to clean that track. Cleaning that track means if there is any other, small asteroid or these kinds of rock particles are there, it is your responsibility. You must have at least that much gravitational force so that you could remove, either you could absorb them or you could remove them so that your track could be completely cleared. But believe me, this kind of capability is not within the Pluto. Pluto is not capable to clean its track. And because Pluto doesn't have the capacity to clean its track, to remove the rock particles, those are present in its orbit, as it was the condition decided by the International Astronomical Union in the year 2006, Pluto was declared as a dwarf planet. And if Pluto had been accepted as a planet on that particular day, believe me, Pluto was not the only planet which was not fulfilling the third condition. There were some other celestial bodies as well. If Pluto had been accepted, it means other celestial bodies would have also been accepted as a planet. And today, I would be discussing more than 20 or even more than number of planets. So if you are removing anything by having one condition, you have to remove the rest of the things those are not fulfilling that condition. And if you are accepting anything, then you have to accept rest of the things. So this was the reason why Pluto was not accepted as a planet, as it was not fulfilling the third condition. The third condition was that Pluto had to clean its track or remove the rock particles while revolving around the sun, which are present in its orbit, or in a simple language, in its track. All right, so I think the lecture is stressing a lot. So these were some of the things which I wanted to discuss. These were not very tricky in nature, but as these were given in the NCERTs of geography, therefore I thought I need to discuss these things. What are the characteristics of the different planets? I will also be discussing, but not in my today's lecture. Namaskar.